I I can't believe that I actually played with Jared Leto. It happened.
I got bruises on my feet. I've got memories I keep from when I.
Well, first of all, the actual story per se is not that long, but I'd love to make a little bit of introduction for you. My name is Francis, for those who doesn't know me yet, and I'm a singer-songwriter from Italy. And back in 2015, after I lived a few months in New York, I've decided to move to London. These where I actually started to play music for real. I became a busker after I met a couple of street performers in the streets of London. We started to talk, and if you are from London or if you've been to London, you know that is not that cheap. So obviously, I had to find a job, and these two lovely guys suggest me to try out the street performances, and I said, you know what, let's give it a go. So I started. That was terrible. The first times, the first couple of months, for those who are not familiar with performing in the streets, it's not that easy. I mean, obviously, when you perform on a stage, I think having that stage, the physical stage, kind of give you a gap between you as an artist and the crowd. But when you're performing in the streets, you you're like a normal person, I guess, and you have to fight all of your insecurities, and it's not easy. Coming from a person that, I mean, I don't feel like a shy person. Anyway, I started to perform with my first band called The Hud, with two friends of mine. After a few months, they decided to left London because I guess it's not an easy city to live in. And after that, I started to play by myself, and lately I started to perform with another guy, which I met while I was busking, and he's a great drummer. He was studying production at the Abbey Road Studios, and because of our similar taste in music, we've decided to form a band, a duo. And we started to perform in the streets of London as Screams from the Sun. You know, we both grew up listening to 30 Seconds to Mars, and since that day, we obviously had our little moments of joy. We ended up on Rolling Stone fronts, and we played tons of shows around London, and we did a couple of UK tour. And I remember one day we were supposed to go busking, but we found out that basically 30 Seconds to Mars were the guest at the BBC Radio 1. And I just wanted to see him, Jared, and fangirling a little bit. So with all our gear, we went outside the BBC Radio 1, and it was quite early in the morning. I was in the first row, and I remember when Jared and Shannon came, all I wanted to do was just, a little selfie, stupid, dumb selfie with Jared. Uh, and and I remember that basically I used to have these really shitty phone with me, and while I was trying to take this picture with him, my phone died, literally. Uh, and Jared turned to me and say, "Sorry, I gotta go." So I was quite pissed off about it. Can you imagine? You're there. You finally have the chance to take a picture with probably one of your biggest idol, and your phone stops working. It's like, ugh, pissed me off. Anyway, because I was so pissed off, something happened in my head, and I said, you know what? Fuck it. If you are from London, the area where the BBC Radio One is a private area, obviously. It's all about offices, and you have to respect the rules. Sorry about my dog over there. Anyway, I took off all my gear, and I've decided to start setting up right near the BBC Radio One. We started to play, like, fuck it. There was this guy came by and he said, guys, if you're gonna perform here, we're gonna have to call the police on you. And to be fair, the only thing that I heard in that moment was like, just do it, Francis, play. So we started to perform, and then we started to play The Kill. And the funny part is Shannon, which is obviously the drummer, came out before everyone else, and he jumped on his van. And while I was passing by, he heard us performing, and he asked the driver to stop. And he came right in front of us, started to listen to us, and it was so nice. I mean, he was clapping his hands, he was giving us compliments, gave us big hugs as well. Then he left, and suddenly, obviously, as soon as Jared came out, all this massive crowd started to scream and shout, and all the journalists and paparazzis were there trying to take pictures of him. But as soon as he heard me singing The Kill, he came straight to us. And I mean, it's been really, really weird because, the reason why I started to perform music, it was actually because of him. Back in 2010, I went to, probably was my second time going to a proper gig, and went to see 30 Seconds to Mars with my older brother. And I was in the first row at that time, and while I was singing The Kill, he jumped on the crowd, and he reached my hand, grabbed my hand, and, during the, yow, he screamed at me, and I don't know, it was like having a vision. And I remember in that moment, I thought, wow, this dude just yelled in my face, and I never felt more alive. This is what I want to do in my life. I want to reach a point where I'm going to sing in front of someone and completely change his life, their lives. And anyway, it was funny to see that 10 years later, he was listening to me in the streets of London, singing his song, which was the reason in the first place that I started to play. And I don't know, like, I posted a video on TikTok as well, and many comments were all about, oh, this dude, he wanted to steal the spot, let the guy sing, oh, he stole the mic of the guy. No, not at all. I mean, can you imagine, like, while I was singing and he was right in front of me, it was really, really hard to stay focused. And that's why the reason why, I mean, if you heard the performance right at the end, I'm like, terrible, because I was about to faint for all the emotions that were going through my body. and 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 so yeah, when he came and grabbed the mic and he started to sing, having that moment where obviously it's not a stage, but fuck it, like, I had a moment that I share with one of my biggest idol, and I don't know, that it's something that probably can't be described using words, but truly gave me the strength to keep moving on and keep chasing my dreams. I mean, I spent 6 years busking every single day in the streets of London, and the reason why I stopped right now is because of all the pandemic and all the bullshit, blah blah. So we had to stop, and because of the rent, I had to move away from London. But for 6 years, every single day, I was out in the streets, um, with the wind, the rain, sometimes even the snow, -5 degrees, etc. But I did it because I love playing music. And I don't know, sharing the moment with Jared was magical. So yeah, that's pretty much the story of it. And I just want to say thank you so much to all of you guys that decided to subscribe to my channel. I started recently my very first solo project, which is Francis Jupiter. And I'd love to have your feedback about my original stuff, which you can find on my channel. So, Deja Vu has been the first single that I released, and then Brooklyn. So, let me know your thoughts. And I don't know, have you ever had any special moment with some of your biggest idols? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. Take care and see you at the next one, all right? Ciao.